Okay, you're gonna wanna look in the mirror and you're just gonna want to make sure you have balance, play around for a little bit. If you need to put some thermal protectant on there before your iron, go for that. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump in and I'm gonna section it very similar to how I blew dry. I'll take a section up high, coming down low. I'm gonna work this entire row first and then I'll move up and repeat the same steps on the other side. And the reason I have this section is because it's about the length of my hot iron, and it makes it a lot easier to flow through this haircut or this style. And then I'm going to take this section here that's about the width of my iron, and we're going to work with that. I like to start my irons on the back side of the hair and wrapping it back away from the face. After that, you can go forward or backwards, whatever you prefer. But I always like to open the face up and go back away from the face. So I'm gonna start close towards the scalp. I'm gonna roll and I'm gonna unwind as I roll down. I'm looking for a little bit of a softer wave, kind of an undone texture. I don't want it to be super tight and like she's going to prom. We're gonna go a little bit more beachy and a lived-in look. So here's my next section. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this one away from the face as well. The reason I start at the base is because gravity is gonna take effect. And if this isn't really working here, this is gonna be bored straight while the ends are the only things curling. I really want this to stay curly towards the scalp. So I'm gonna start here and create a good foundation for my style. And as that's sitting, I'm gonna unwrap, and I'm just gonna pull those ends right through the iron so they're a little bit straighter but smooth. My heat is very high, so I'm allowed to go, or it allows me to go a little bit faster. If you're slower, you need to turn your heat down so that you have a little bit of time to work and you can let that set without damaging that hair with the heat. All right, so I like a nice high heat so I can really fly through this at the end of my service. Starting close to the base, we're gonna turn and we're just gonna let those ends pull through. I'm gonna unwind, pull it through, unwind, and I'm just gonna let those ends glide right through there. Now we're gonna start right back in the front here, play with her fringe area. I'm gonna pull these forward towards the face. Iron's gonna go on the back side, and we're gonna wrap away from the face. Again, I'm trying to go pretty quick here. I want a nice soft wave. Ends staying a little straighter. And we're gonna continue the same exact section size. Elevation upward so I can really get close to the scalp. Over direct forward so I can get back behind the hair. And I'm gonna wrap it backwards. We're gonna turn. I'm gonna unravel, turn, unravel, and I'm gonna pull those ends through. Okay, now as I crisscross over the center back of the hair, I'm gonna flip the direction that I'm curling this hair so that her left side is now going away from the face, being consistent as the same. I don't want the entire hairstyle to be curled the exact same direction. Over direction forward so you can fit that barrel close to the scalp and behind the hair section, and just repeating these steps. Back side, wrap backwards away from the face, really open up that style. Unwind, pull through. Unwind, pull through. If you'll notice what clip I'm using, it's a Cunningham clip. And the reason I like to use that in my style is because I've already got hair nice and smooth and some volume with the blow dry. the chignon clip's gonna have a little bit of a gap in there, so it doesn't really put a crease or crimp in the hair. It's good for any kind of upstyling, blow drying, or thermal curling. Once again, in the front, I'm gonna pull this forward so I can put that barrel on the back side and wind it down the side of the face. I'm gonna go a little quicker here because I want that to be a little straighter around the face. Beautiful. I'm just using my pinky to get a section as I work through this top of the hair. And I want to pull it through. I want heat to hit those ends so they smooth out, but I don't want them curly. I like a little bit of a bigger iron. I think this is a 1.5 inch. It allows me to get a bigger curl, not so tight, especially with longer hair. I don't need it super tight, so a bigger rod's fine. And again, I have my heat very high. It's about 430. But I'm working pretty quick. If I was a little bit slower, I would turn my heat down so it gives me a little bit of time to work. I also recommend that for my clients. Sometimes they want to recreate this style and they're not used to working that iron as quick. So I tell them to turn the heat down so they can take their time and they don't burn themselves or ruin their hair. And then as they get better and quicker, they can turn that heat up. Get through it a little bit faster. Okay, last section here, I'm gonna elevate, same exact deal. Unwind and pull through so those ends are smooth. Make sure I didn't miss anything. There's one guy here, let's get this one.